I recently noticed that this laptop has gone on a crazy discount on Amazon. This is the Asus VivoBook 15 from 2021, one of the most positive rated laptops of the year. It was known for its pretty sleek looks and a really affordable price tag. But does it still hold up in 2022? Let's take a look. My friend has been using this laptop for over a year now, and these are his and my collective experiences. It has a very smooth finish on the outside, even though it's plastic. This thing is designed to be a thin and light laptop for students and for light work, so it definitely looks the part. But like most budget laptops, it fails the one hand opening test. You can't really open this thing with one hand. That is one thing that separates budget laptops and premium ones. You see, premium laptops have a very balanced design, so the lid opens up with one hand without any issues. Whereas these budget ones, most of them that I've seen cannot be opened just like that. So it's not that important, it doesn't affect the functionality, but just something I noticed. What I mean to say is the hinges feel quite tight and they don't feel as smooth to open. These are the few areas where the budget of the laptop really shows up, but that's not the point. This is meant for students who want to get work done, and it certainly accomplishes that. This one is the AMD Ryzen 3 unit, and for the same price you're now getting an 8GB RAM variant. And interestingly, unlike most other laptops in this budget, you're getting a fingerprint sensor in the trackpad. That's something even my Legion 5 Pro is missing, even though that laptop is like 5 times more expensive than this one. It's a capacitive sensor, but still it works quite well. It supports both face unlock and fingerprint unlock using Windows Hello. Now again, these specs aren't anything to be impressed by. This is just a entry-level budget laptop to do basic things, meaning that you can't really do heavy activities like editing videos and stuff. I mean, I tried it, but it doesn't really work. The entire timeline gets stuck all the time. It freezes and crashes. It's not a very good experience. You obviously have to keep your expectations aligned for this price range. This is great for like basic note-taking, document work, entry-level programming and things like that. It doesn't have a dedicated GPU, so keep that in mind. And as you can see, more often than not, it's the CPU that gets overpowered than RAM or anything like that. So you are actually bottlenecked by the hardware, which you cannot upgrade. You can always upgrade the RAM. This thing supports up to 16GB of upgrade, but the CPU is obviously fixed, and that's the one causing slowdowns here. So it definitely has a limit which you cannot pass. This thing is fairly lightweight. It's coming in only at around 1.6 kilograms, and even after combining this 45-watt tiny charger, it stays under 2 kilograms, which is pretty impressive. This thing is a fantastic choice for carrying around in your backpack without feeling too much weight. The charger plugs in here on the left side with this cylindrical proprietary connector. Yeah, there is a Type-C port as well, but it doesn't have any display output or doesn't take charge. So it's just for data transfer. It does have a full-size HDMI and a USB port along with an exhaust, and on the right side, hey, a headphone jack, that's cool, and 2 full-size USB ports. And there's a Kensington lock too if you want to use it. Let's talk about the user experience with the keyboard and trackpad. I like the keyboard design on this thing. It's a lot more premium looking than most other options in this price. The keys are fairly uniform and feel good to type on. It does feel a little hollow when you're typing on it, as if there is nothing on the bottom, but it's alright, it gets the job done, and that's the most important thing. I really wish the trackpad was a little bit bigger though. This is a little too small for my taste, so I don't think anyone can use this trackpad comfortably for more than a couple of minutes. You'll have to use a dedicated like secondary mouse, but thankfully they are very affordable, so yeah, just get one. It seems like the lid might wobble a little bit, like when you touch it easily moves around, but no, when you're typing on it, it's not an issue. See, even when I'm hitting the keyboard, it doesn't really wobble around, so as long as you're using this as a normal person, you won't have any issues. There is one weird design flaw I noticed here on the bottom of this lid. Like it has this design that kind of looks like it's gonna raise the laptop a little bit up, but it doesn't even meet the table level. Like look, it's not even touching the table, so it doesn't raise the laptop at all. So I guess it's just a cool design then. I don't know, it's just a weird design choice that I saw. Again, it's not a big deal, but these are some things that I noticed. Now this thing came with Windows 10 and we upgraded to Windows 11. Big mistake. Windows 11 is a lot more resource hungry and this laptop actually slowed down a lot. So I do not recommend you upgrade to Windows 11. And if you want a guide on how to downgrade to Windows 10, if you have already done it, then let me know, we'll put that together. Windows 10 is perfectly optimized for laptops like these. Windows 11 is not. So yeah, stay on Windows 10. Now you may have read some reviews that say this thing gets hot pretty fast, and that is true. This thing does heat up quite a bit, but we found that using a laptop stand actually helps out quite a lot, so that's good. And yes, I'm gonna put out the video announcing the winners for this laptop stand, so that'll be on the channel today, take a look. But yeah, pairing this with a laptop stand surely helps. It reduces the heating problem drastically. Opening this thing is pretty easy. there are 11 screws on the back. Just remove them with a normal screwdriver and get a thin plastic tool to kind of wedge between the edges and kind of loosen it from all sides. It'll take some time, be patient and take it slow, but yeah, you'll get there eventually. Once the back panel is loosened on all four sides, it just comes off free. There is no cable connecting the panel to the motherboard, so that's cool. I've seen some models where there is an annoying speaker unit attached to the back panel. I think that's a bad design, but this one doesn't have it. And as you can see, you get direct access to everything. You can upgrade your memory if you want, you can upgrade the SSD, open up the fan and clean it up. There's even a space for a mechanical hard drive if you want to install it. This thing comes with an SSD by default. You can install a hard drive as well for extra storage. There are two types of screws. Just remember, these smaller screws go on the bottom here and the taller ones go around the sides. The battery life was pretty good. Like on Windows 10 we used to get around 4 hours of battery out of this thing, but again Windows 11 kind of screwed us, and now if you're using it fairly heavily, you can run this thing dry within 1.5 hours, so that's not great. Again, don't upgrade to Windows 11 on budget laptops like this. Overall though, is it still worth it in late 2022? I think so, yes. Even though there are laptops with slightly more power than this around the same budget, you don't get these sleek looks, the fingerprint sensor. I mean, you don't get the same benefits there. You won't find many laptops with a good keyboard like this one. So if you're someone who uses the laptop keyboard on its own, then this would definitely be a better experience in this budget. Again, there are deals going on all the time, so I'll leave a link in the description. If you're interested as a student or someone who needs a laptop for like lightweight use, this thing can be a great option. So if you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below and join our Discord if you'd like to discuss further things like this.